So what do we have here? Could it be another classic point and shoot film camera? Let's take a look. Black and red. Can you guess the era? Got to be 1980s. It's a Pentax. It's an autofocus. It's got lovely red buttons. How amazing. But what is it? Don't you just love using manual lenses to film videos? Here we go. So, this is the Pentax PC35AF M date from, I think, 1984. And we'll have a quick look round it and see what we think. Yeah, there could only be one era, couldn't there, that this thing comes from. It's just got that 1980s look. Another eBay pickup, another camera that was sold as untested for peanuts. And we're going to talk you through it and then see how it performs. But already it's such a looker, isn't it? Absolutely gorgeous. I can't stop doing it. So let's have a look around this very cute camera. The Pentax PC35AF M Quartz date. God, this is quite a rare edition of it. On the front, as you can see, you have a couple of really interesting red buttons, and the most exciting of them is this one here, which is the lens cover release. f/35mm 2.8, and its focusing range is 0.7 meters to infinity. Closes up. That action also turns the camera on. On the front you can see the autofocus indicator, and there's a couple of sensors there, one for autofocus gain and the other one for flash. Sensor down here too. And there's an LED just here as well. So what else do we have? Let's have a look on the top. On top of the camera. Let's look on this side. We have a self-timer facility. Slide button there, the shutter button, there's a little window here that indicates the film, number of shots taken. This is a really useful facility. It's a backlight compensation of 1.5 stops. You press that in combination with the shutter button. What looks like a little speaker there on top. See if I can get that shown. Yeah, some people say that speaker is quite annoying. This camera has a little piezo buzzer that sounds when you've actually gained focus, or no, sorry, when you haven't gained focus or gained exposure, and that can be quite annoying, but there is a modification you can use to turn that off, but that's quite involved, I think. Here we have the legendary quartz date back of the camera. So that's here, and you can see, and on this one you can actually select to have imprinted on your shots the date and the time. I think because this camera is 1984, it sort of ran out of gas in early 2000, even though the batteries and the indicators still work with it. I don't think you can actually use that with any functionality. I'll just open that up and show you what it does. There's a little thumb grip there, and then various buttons to cycle through. That's where you would put in the date and the time. But if you don't want anything to show up on your shots, then you'd press it again as the time. You can have time only, which is quite useful, rather than, because the date doesn't work. And then back to the blank fields if you don't want anything to appear on your prints. So the other things you have on the back of the camera is a little battery check button here. It's indented, so you have to use a thumbnail or something to press down, and that shows a little light above here when that's battery topped up, or decent battery. So over here you have the button to open the back of the camera. Just slides down. And there we have a very tidy inside of the camera. You can see that there. It's got a DX reader. Very clean inside here, isn't it? Indicator over here of where your film needs to go to when you insert. Close that up. Hear it wind on automatically. And then on this side of the camera you have the pop-up flash, so you can decide when and where you use the flash, which is really useful. So that comes up there. And there's the indicator light to show that it's charged. And then you just push down when not in use. So one of the really clever features of this camera is the autofocus system, where through the viewfinder you get this lovely tab that cuts across. You partially press the shutter button, and I don't know if you can see that, but it shoots across to one of 3 zones and in trim positions as well. So close up, all the way through to infinity. It's pretty accurate too, and you also get the confirmation green light as well. That's a pretty spectacular feature. There we go, I think that's a better one. So there you can see it's going through to the mid-ground, and if I try and show you a bit more of a longer shot, or even a shorter shot, let's see how this works on here now. Yes, that's the short focus. You can see the little tab going along. How clever is that? Another feature I didn't mention is this rather strange black and red wavy window. And what happens with that is once the film's completed and you press the auto rewind button, which is down here, there's 2 steps to this so you don't automatically accidentally do it. You push tab 1 across and then you press the rewind, and it will automatically rewind your film with this little window swirling, and once it's completed the rewind, that stops the movement. Really clever. So in summary, I would say this is a very funky camera. You can find them cheap still. You know, untested, you're going to get these for around about £15–20. This particular edition is the special one, of course. This is the M with the motorized rewind, and also with the quartz date back. So I picked this up really cheap. I think it was 15 quid, because it was untested, or in fact it was reported faulty. It wasn't. It's the usual thing, user error or battery corrosion, and just a little persistence, and I was able to get this beast up and working. What a beautiful camera. Now, I've heard that it produces some spectacular images, and the proof of the pudding is in the eating. So I've popped in some Ilford HP5, one of my favourite black and white films, and this is what I got back.